Happy Friday, my friends. We are here back in my craft room here at Craft Some Joy with another Friday night scrapbooking. And I'm so glad you're here because there's always something new and fun to talk about in our happy scrappy community. So I just want to say a big hello and welcome to everyone who is here, everyone who has joined in the chat. Sorry about that. I got all choked up from being here. And a big hello to Sheila and Carolyn and Gwen and Bobby Ann and Sue, Yvonne, Bunny, Deb's here, Deborah's here, Sherry Lynn's here, Annette from Chicagoland, Mary B, Karen, and Sandy from Smoky, Colorado. Kim is here and Suzanne is here. Suzanne is here. I'm excited. I'm here live with Lauren, and I'm so glad you're here live with me. So welcome, welcome, Lori and Audra and Tanya and Kathy G, Jean, Nancy. I could go on and on. It's so nice always seeing your names pop up in the chat and saying hello from all over the country, and my friends up north and my Aussie friends, and who knows who else might just pop in. I know we've got friends from all over the world, which I just love this community. So tonight, what I want to do is let you know we are going to talk about 3 easy ways to level up your scrapping. So we had this whole thing in Pop Crop. Jerry here, and Jerry is so funny. She always talks about, I'm not sure if she's on yet, about Laurenizing her layouts. And so this has kind of stuck with me, Jerry, about Laurenizing your layouts. And I thought, well, really what I do, and we've talked about how to do embellishment clusters and how to do design for your scrapbook pages, but really when I started thinking about it, I started thinking it really comes down to these 3 things. And these are 3 things that I like to do whenever I do designs, like custom designs, when I do my Pop Crop designs or when I do my monthly meetup designs. I always kind of tend to fall back on these 3 things. And so I thought, well, it's worth repeating again. And it's nothing new. It's not rocket science. It's just bringing it to the forefront again so that we can once again hear it and remember it, hopefully. And it'll just make things easier if you're going, what does this layout need? I might have one of 3 things that we can talk about tonight that just might level up your scrapbook page so that it even just pops more, shines brightly, even without glitter, and something that you'll be happy with. Okay, so that's what we're talking about tonight. If you want to try to find me all the places, these are the places you can find me. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I know I've got a lot from Facebook and YouTube, and also via email. And so one thing I want to just mention too is, in all disclosure, things kind of come at me in cycles, and I was on a design cycle most recently. And so you're going to see tonight, I'm going to share a few little sneak peeks. I've got Croptoberfest on my desk from Creative Memories, but I'm also going to sneak peek some of my Laurenizing things that I just had a whim and put in the shop, because when I get on that kick, I feel like I have to go with it because I don't always have that, drive to design or to, create new things. You'll see them they trickle in, but this was a big one. There are 5 new sentiment packages, including, and then there's also Foodie Fun. So that's six sentiments that I just had so much fun creating for you, because I feel like there are these milestone things that we like to scrapbook about. And so just wait, I'll give you a little sneaky peek, don't worry. And so that's what we're gonna work on tonight. Plus I have a sneak peek of Croptoberfest. So let me just switch over to my overhead and kind of just jump in. And oh wait, before we do that, one more thing. So I saw a lot of you were super excited about something new that I put up in my shop. And I want to just quickly share that because so many of you, I think, were really about this new downloads, plural, that I put in my shop. So some of you may have seen the reel that I made where I also got on, not only a design, but also an organization kick. And I labeled all my punches. I have been wanting to do that forever. And so I did it. And to help me, I went into the advisor Facebook group and found these beautiful handouts with all the punches to date that Creative Memories, Border Maker cartridges, standalone punches, and border punches. And if you go to craftsomejoy.com and you go to shop, and the third line down is exclusive downloads and workshops. So I made them completely available for you, just easy to get to. So I know advisors can always hop in the advisor forum and get these, but I thought, you know what? Sometimes when we're organizing, we need to have a good list. So they are completely free. Again, as I mentioned, they were created by another advisor. And so, I always I'm so thankful that advisors share these wonderful things with the advisor community. So there's the Border Maker cartridge list, the shape punch list, and the border punch list. And you guys, this is so awesome because it has little check boxes to see if you have them. And then also, I haven't really mentioned, but I also put in the 8x8 fast album formula download. This is just another download from Creative Memories that if you're looking at a quick way to cut 12x12 paper for 8x8 sizes, this is just a super easy formula that you can use. And so again, this is just free stuff that I wanted to make easily accessible for you. Okay, that's my whole point. Not that I created this, but I just want to make it easy for you to find. And then there's, of course, things that I've, some of my custom designs also on here. As well as once you find your Border Maker cartridge list or your punch list, if you are interested in finding some of those retired punches, be sure to check out my Scrap Some Joy shop. So it not only has the exclusives that we're going to talk some more about tonight, but I have a whole list over here where you can just go in and look at punches or border punches and see what is still available in my shop that might not be available on the Creative Memories website. Okay, so just, again, a reminder. But hey, let's take a look at, really quickly here, let me go back to my overhead. I just had to make sure you all knew about the freebies. So here is my punch. Nope, that's my pot planner. Where's my punch inventory? They look similar and they're both big and fat. So here's my punch inventory binder. I have a video on this. It's part of my Tidy Up Tuesdays where I talk about this so you can categorize. I have a whole video on this. I'm not even going to go into it, but you can use baseball card sleeves to punch your punches so you can easily see what you have in your inventory, right? Because sometimes our inventories are extensive. And then I just want to share, so like here's some of my border punches. And then I want to share, this is also where I put in the border, the lists. Now I didn't go down and check all of those off just yet, but I think I have pretty much all of them. Maybe I'm missing one or two. Okay, but you can see from this awesome list, you can go through, get the exact name of the Border Maker cartridge, and then check if you have it. So this is just such a great resource. And so, yes, Mary, I love my binder, but this is also a good thing to just tuck in the back, just to make sure, you know, if you have everything. So just an easy way. Keep yourself organized. You know, I have to go down those organization rabbit holes sometimes, just because I love my punches now. I put those little labels on it. Someone asked, so my favorite little, I did link this. I used another label maker for years and years, and then it did take me. This one's, you know, it's a little on the pricey side, but I finally gave in and I got this P-Touch Cube because there's so many more things you can do. So it has, this font is, oh my goodness, Rockwell. Rockwell. I love this font. I use this all the time. Like when I label, it's the same font as on my family albums and what I use on the labels for my pods. And, you know, just whenever I seem to want a font for my craft room, I like it. And I have mixed fonts, honestly, all over. But now I just love the fact that it's all done on your phone. It's app based. So, and this is rechargeable, so you don't have to have batteries, which I love. It takes all different sizes of tapes. And anyhow, I just wanted to mention that. So Rockwell is the one that I use for here. You know what? I have to make sure. I'm pretty sure that's it, but I can share. So it's this little app, Brother app, that you can get. And then, you can also save your labels. So I can go see right here. So I have one called Craft Room Labels. So there it is. And when you click it, it says font. Oh, yep, Rockwell. There it is, Rockwell. Is that what I said? I said Rockwell, right? I get Rockwell and Roboto Slab kind of mixed up sometimes, but it is Rockwell. And then you can change the font size. It'll prompt you what size tape you want, and you know, just so many good things. And I just go in here and just keep typing. Like if you saw the little reel I did, is just word after word after word for all my punches, and then I just cut them apart with scissors so that I saved on tape. Okay, so just a little, again, little rabbit hole with organizing. Grab your lists, super fun to have. And then what I'll do is, you know, every so often I will update that list and just it'll probably replace the first page, because this one will get redone when new things come in and get added. Okay, so just a little side note there, but let's talk other new things. Croptoberfest is coming, and I've had a few of you reach out and say, Lauren, are you going to do Croptoberfest? Well, I have been giving that quite a bit of thought, and today my box with all the new things came in, and I really wanted to take a look at the project guidebook to see. I had not seen the designs that were in here. And you guys, you know, I think they are lovely designs. And so when I got a chance to look at this, I have so much on my plate. What I was thinking is that what I would do, Jerry, are you here yet? I'm going to Laurenize the designs, or just kind of go, all right, so how can we punch it up? Just like what we're going to talk tonight. How can we level up these designs so that they're even, you know, just kind of more done, more put together. And so I'm pretty sure that is the direction I want to go. We will do the workshop where we will do all of these projects together, but I will have an exclusives to make them even leveled up. Does that make sense? So yeah, so there it is. Yeah. Do we have a question? Oh yeah. Where can we find? So if you just go to craftsomejoy.com, go to shop, it's the third line down, exclusives and downloads. It's a free download, all the lists. And if you happen to misplace it, just go download it again. It's, that easy. The link lasts for, I believe, 24 hours on my website. That's just kind of a website thing, but you can download it again, or you can email me and I can refresh your link. But after, you want to save it to your computer and then print it, or at least, save it to get it in your downloads and print. Okay. So, hello, everyone else joining in. So hopefully that makes sense for the idea ahead for the project, Croptoberfest. So I'm going to kind of do a hybrid where I work on, we work with some of what's already been given us, but maybe just do a little something extra. Let me get a little more light on here. Let me see if I can just turn this light on. I think that might be a little better, a little brighter for you. Okay, so what does Croptoberfest look like? Let me share. There are a few little extra goodies that you're going to be able to find in my shop as soon as I have some time to put them in there. But there's a little measurement ruler. So it says measure twice, cut once. And I love these. I do a lot of shipping, so I love these for shipping, but I can see how that can easily be something you can just pop in your purse and have fun with. There's also, I haven't even opened this to look at it, so let's do that together. This is a photo polishing cloth, and it looks a little different this year. So it kind of looks like an eyeglass cloth, but here's that photo polishing cloth. And I think I could use this to clean my glasses too. I might have to just keep that handy over here for cleaning my glasses. It feels like, that's what it feels like. And then there's a little notepad with two different notepads on here. There's some socks, and what else? There was one other thing, socks. Oh, and a pen. Okay. And so these are all like extras. You'll see those. Then there's the bundle. So as an advisor, we were able to order some of this earlier. You can see, sorry, all the reflection, but this is the Croptoberfest 2025 terracotta foiled album cover. So this will be available as well as all of the goodies. And there is one punch called the Chrysanthemums punch. So this is a layering punch. And we were laughing about this at Croptoberfest too. We were like, oh, I bet Kylie's going to do something really fun with these punches, because she's always so good at creating like floral clusters and embellishments. But this one, I think this is going to have a lot of uses, especially like what we're doing tonight too, talking about 3 ways we can add and level up our layouts. Okay, so there is a border and title kit. There is a variety map pack. There is embellishments. There's the project guidebook, layered embellishments, the project recipe, the accessory paper pack. Oh, I have 2 of those. I'm not sure why. And then the sampler pack. And so in order to do the guidebook and the project recipe, let's take a peek at what that looks like. You do need everything. So you need the whole shebang. And then, of course, like I said, I'll have a little packet of extras that you can get from the shop once I kind of figure everything out. This just came today, guys, so it's hot off the press. But this is the project recipe. I guess it's, let's see, two of them. Looks like two of them. This here, project 1, project 2. So, you know, we might do this. And I have to say, you know, I may switch things up a little bit. Just saying. I kind of have a tendency to do that. So there's the project recipe, project guidebook, and then all the things to make it. So that is coming. And that's my plan for Croptoberfest. And I will, as soon as I can get all that worked out, then, you know, I'll make sure you are informed about when that's going to be. Okay. And, I know, Mary. Yeah, I'll have an extra for you. No worries. No worries. I know travel happens, right? But this is kind of fun. So, friends, let's talk just for a minute about how do we level up our layouts? And I have just this quick little slide for you. And it really is so easy. There's three things. Like I mentioned, when I look back and look at my layouts and look at what I've done to create, these are three things that I like to keep in mind when I am creating. And so what is the easiest way I can group that together? And that is color, shapes, and words. Color, shapes, and words. It's that easy. Really. So just remember color, shapes, and words. So let's talk about those. What does that mean, Lauren? What does that mean? Well, I'm gonna share some ideas with you tonight, and these are really simple, super simple. And I just want to kind of, you know, have this conversation about what does a layout look like, and then what does, you know, kind of a leveled up layout look like. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually get out and so I'm using my own layouts here that I created, and I thought, you know, if I had to do that over, would I change something? So this is a layout from a long time ago. I still haven't put in my album yet, and I have a pod with layouts that I can grab if I need something to put in my album, you know, for quick already done pages. So I was looking at this layout and I thought, okay, so let's talk about those three things: color, shapes, and words. So it has, and in this case, actually, I should take a step back and say what I'm really focusing on are the decorative elements on your page and how those three things play their role in the decorative elements. So you can have pretty much any background, any base pages, you know, any way that you're going to be putting your photos on the page, but the decorative elements, what about those? What can we do that are just going to kind of make a little bit of a difference? This is a pretty layout. I think it's a pretty layout. We I did this in a workshop, you know, a long time ago. I can't even remember. So, okay, wait, Kathy, what? I have purchased some of the digital project guidebooks from CM, but can't find them on the website to print it. Where is it on the website? Oh, so they hold those in your account. So you have to log in to your Creative Memories account on their website and then go to account. And I believe it would be under a tab. I think it's called My Downloads or something like that. You'll see it. It's under your account. My Downloads and Projects or something like that. It's kind of the same place where you would get digital files. So I'm thinking, yep. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Joe's like, ooh, purple and green. Are we liking purple and green? Favorite color combos. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, finally go there and you can see all the downloads. Took me a hot second. Okay. I hope you guys are finding, yeah, on the, Downloadable products. Thank you, Mandy. Yes, downloadable products. It's in your account. So you definitely has you have to sign in. You have to be logged in because otherwise things don't. Also, if you ever want to use a coupon or there's a special, you have to be logged in to your account. Okay, Mandy has a question. Does Mandy have a net? See Mandy's question above. Okay, hold on. Let me keep going to find Mandy's question. I'm missing it. Let me see if I can find Mandy. Has CM created a fast formula sheet for the Scrap Journal album? Oh, no, they haven't. As far as I know, you mean like the 8x8? As far as I know, they haven't. But I don't know. Maybe somebody else knows if they have. But as far as I know, they haven't. Although the new, let me get that. 1 second. We're going to take a little diversion. Did you see the new wildflowers? I forgot to put that on my desk as new. Let me find the stickers. The new Wildflower Wishes, what they did for this, so you could use this kind of as a formula. And I have my vision scrapbook has my vision, and I think that I've done formulas. I've done formulas for the Happy Album size, but in those classes. But this has the cut apart grid for you to see how you can take a 12 by 12 paper and cut it down to work in a Happy Album. So this Wildflower Wishes, even though it's a 12 by 12 size paper, they're giving you a cutting guide on the back to use for the Happy Album. And this is the stickers that go with it. They are photorealistic and they are clear. I didn't realize that on the website, but just so you know. There's flowers, different floral elements, and they are the clear sticker paper. Okay, so let's go back into our 3 things to level up. Thank you for keeping an eye on the chat and questions. And talk about color, shapes, and words, okay? And really, those are kind of the components whenever we are creating embellishments or decorative clusters for our pages. So, and maybe Noreen did a fast formula. Maybe so. Okay. So that's a good thing. I'll keep an eye out. If somebody finds it, if there's a handout like the 8x8, email it to me and I will also post it on the website. So it will be easy for you to download under one of the Sizzling Summer Series. Okay, so there you go. Thank you for your help on that. Let's talk. This has color, definitely. Let's talk about the decorative elements. So we have some shapes going on here. We have some banners. We've got some sticker layers and clusters, and we even have some words. And then I was looking at this layout and I thought, well, what could I do to actually kind of punch this up a little bit to level up this layout? And one of the things that caught my eye was how much I now rely on I use them, I call them layering shapes, that give a separation between all the patterns and all the color and your background. And that is just a personal choice that I tend to do on my layouts and that I really think gives a nice flow and element to your decorative clusters. So here I have again, a banner, a short banner, and then I've got a cluster of stickers. And you can see right now, it kind of feels flat and it kind of is, it's just all color upon color upon color. And so what I realized is when I do something as simple as adding a shape, just a little shape that's a contrast, so that that's usually my typical shape colors are white, black, neutral, and craft. Those are, you know, really good ways of differentiating between the papers. But can you see the difference between that and then just a little place that it's like almost now your eye kind of just goes here and it has a place to rest instead of kind of just being, oh, that's just like your eye just kind of just keeps going. It's like almost like a stop sign. Ooh, let's stop here and take a look at that for just a minute and go, oh yeah, that's really pretty. Oh, look at that butterfly. Oh, I like that. Okay. So that is one of my favorite things to do whenever I'm designing or, and more recently, you know, creating or clustering, is just to add a simple shape. And that can be in the form of a doily. I just put some new doilies, so I'm getting all into the doilies now. Doilies, you can use your circle cutter, your oval cutter, you can use your punches, you know, just a way of simply separating some of the elements from your background. And I really think that has a big impact whenever we are doing our layouts. Now let's take a look over here. Even if I wanted, so, and when I'm using doilies, I typically cut these in half because sometimes all you need is just a little half doily that just says, oh, stop, 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 take a look, right? Stop, take a pause. Look how pretty this butterfly is. Okay, and so that is just that simple thing. Now you could do the same thing with a circle or an oval, you know, again, you can do the same thing with paper, just plain paper, or like a solid. You could go and get a solid purple, a solid green, and kind of have the same thing. I always tend to like the neutrals. Again, white, black, craft, and neutral. My go-tos. Okay, so now we've already kind of elevated. We've said, okay, stop, look here. And then over here, stop, look. But there's also, you'll see I have words here, but I don't have any words over here. And let's just take a look at how a simple word element can also add to this cluster. And this is a new, my friend Angelica was like, Lauren, you really need to make some friendship sentiment stickers because we take pictures of ourselves when we go on outings and, you know, have fun. So there is a new Dear Friend sentiments set, and it's all about friendship and just, you know, good friends and all those fun sayings that you can have. So I am going to just take this little quote right here. It says, friendship warms the heart. And I'm just going to cut that out. And if you have used my sentiment stickers, you know, you just got to get yourself a good pair of scissors and cut around, because I try to pack in all the words on these sticker sets so that you can just cut them apart and use them. And so look how fun that is when we just add some little words to that layering shape. So now I have color, I have already lots of color, I have words, and I have a shape. And to me, now that is a little more finished. The same thing over here. I already have my words. I'm not necessarily going to go get another big set of word, you know, another big quote, because I have this smaller quote. But to finish off this, that would be a place I would use something smaller, like a little sentiment on a little sentiment strip. And so let me see, I might have something here handy. You know, I have a whole thing of banner sentiment strips and rectangle sentiment strips and all the different things. So let's see, how can I tuck it? Oh, there we go. That would be kind of a fun place. If I wanted to add a little word, I could tuck in a sentiment on this side, and then add just a simple word over here. So if it's about friends, let's see, it's something small. This one, you know, maybe something like this, true friends. And it's just another little set of words, a little one-liner that you could add just to give a little bit of writing to your layout. Now this would also, where I put that would also depend on, what you don't see on here would be my photos. So, you know, I would want to take a minute and get my photo placeholders and just take a look at where those would go, and then maybe that would help me add those in. So here's some 5.5 by 3.5, you know, that's plenty of room on there. I have lots of room here for photos. So that's talking, those are the 3 simple things, super easy, that you can do just to make that look a little more finished, a little more polished, a little more put together, right? Just by a few little things. So that's one layout, okay? And I hope you guys like it. I like it better with a few little details. I'm not going to go ahead and stick all that down, but I mean, I will later, but just to save the time for that, I want to move on and talk about another layout. Let's take a look at that. So how many of us, first thing we do in the morning is get a cup of coffee? Okay. I am such a coffee lover. Full confession, I truly do wake up, open my eyes and go, I cannot wait for my first cup of coffee. It really helps me get going in the morning. So if you were part of my customer group, I taught how to do this layout. This was with the Morning Brew bundle. And so again, this hasn't gone into an album yet, but I was thinking, well, let's take a look at this layout. And we've got a whole lot of color going on. We've got some really fun clusters, but I don't see a whole lot of shapes as far as a neutral shape. So maybe what I should do is define this as a neutral shape, you know, neutral. And I think I'm also, if I'm looking at this, I'm really kind of missing a title, something that kind of helps focus this page, this layout, right? So if you're looking how to do this, it's in my VIP customer group. So you have to be a Creative Memories customer to get added to that group, and then you can go to the files section and look at video files or media section and find it in the videos. Okay. So this was Morning Brew. And so I also had so much fun making all the stickers about coffee. You know, there are a lot of coffee quotes out there in the world. It's so fun to read them all, and they just give me a chuckle. But one of my favorites, I think, on this quote is, coffee is the answer. I don't remember the question. I love that quote. Coffee is the answer, though. It's always coffee. Coffee is the answer. So, so let me know if you are a coffee lover like I am. And I know there's a lot of you that are tea lovers. In fact, Audrey has just she's always been my coffee girl. And she has now just like abandoned coffee cold turkey and gone to tea. So, you know, I mean, I was always getting the subscribe and save coffee, and now I'm like, oh gosh, I've got to redo what we're working on, how much coffee we need. So, anyhow, okay, what I was thinking for this is that coffee is, for me, always a good idea. Coffee, Tasha's a coffee fan to the max. Good. Okay. I'm not alone. And So I thought this was a fun little title. So let's take a look at what we could do to add a shape and a title. And one of the things I was thinking is this could go here, and I kind of feel like it needs to be on a banner, although I am not sure if I have the right size banner for this. Oh, look at that. That works. Coffee is always a good idea. So I might have to kind of juggle a few things because I do have this little coffee date sticker down, but let's see, maybe we can put it, maybe we can tuck it in here, and coffee is still a good idea. I'm struggling because I've got all this already stuck down, but let's just put it over here and just see, do I like it there? Actually, I kind of do like it there. So this is kind of where I would get my little spatula and then just move this coffee bag. I just lift it up and move it down. But I think that is really fun. And look at the difference, just kind of some bold words happens to let your eye just kind of land there. So let's take a look at it with the statement and just kind of without. Both are nice. I mean, you can do it either way. You know, maybe we could also even just tuck it right here. That's another idea. It doesn't have to be at the top. We could put that little quote under here. So, and that would just go maybe right under the circles. And we could put our words there. It needs to be a little lower. There we go. And then we have kind of a bold title. And then I was thinking, well, I also would love to see some sentiments, you know, a little bit more, some more words. And sometimes it's fun to kind of do a series of like 3 different statements. So it's not just one statement, but like 3 ideas that are similar, right? So it would be a whole lot of love. Let's see, what else could we do? Life happens, coffee helps. How about that one? I kind of like the scripty font on here for this layout. So I'm just going to kind of give an idea over here. Life happens, coffee helps. So this kind of gives you an opportunity to see how long. Sometimes I'll go for a longer banner than my sentiment, and then I'll just snip off what I don't need. And then maybe just another little short one. So let's see, maybe we could do here. We could do Caffeine Queen. We could do Caffeine Queen. That kind of goes right here. Okay. I'm not sure if that's going to fit on there. Yeah, it might fit. So we could do something like that. And so now let's take a look. Before is just that. Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and stick these down so we can get the full effect of what this looks like after. And the fun thing is, you could do this. I know, like we really need to go back once our layouts are done, but you can, if you haven't put your page protectors on your layouts and you want to just add a little something, something. I have been known to do that. It's a thing, you know, like, oh gosh, now there's a punch with that on it. Now I want to add that punch to my page. So you can always go back and level up your pages. So I have that one. Let me do the little Caffeine Queen. here, and I'll check if I've missed any other questions. So give me one sec. Okay, so for this one, I've got Caffeine Queen, and then what I'm going to do is just snip an edge on that, so that would go right there. Okay, so before my layers is this, right? So now we're really kind of talking about adding shapes and adding words, so 2 of the 3. So now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to add words here, and even some more words over here. And then that, to me, just kind of gives a little level up. Now, I want to mention at this point too, one of the reasons, I think I've said this before, one of the reasons that I started designing sentiment stickers is because I have a very extensive stamp collection, and I was always hunting through all my polymer, all my stamps for like that perfect little sentiment. And then I'd have to get it out, and then I'd have to get the right block, and then I'd have to get the right ink, and then I'd have to practice. And then I would have to, hope I didn't make a mistake on my layout. And I thought there has to be an easier way, like just the same feel, the same look as if I took a stamp and stamped it, a little sentiment. And that's how sentiment stickers were born. So that is, that was my whole reason for making things easy. Easy is my goal. Easy. So any ideas if a new baby collection is coming out? I believe that I did hear there was one. Thank you, Annette, for good on questions. I think that there, I think I heard there's a baby collection coming out. Does anybody else remember that? Because I think it's every 2 years. And I want to say that this has been 2 years. So, yeah. I hope. And I do have a baby collection in the works. It just isn't finished. It takes me quite some time to do these. But that is definitely one of those milestone photo taking opportunities, right? That everybody takes photos of. But I do want to say, prior to babies, I had so much fun, and I don't even have, like, I don't even know if I would go this. I would have to probably go back and pull out my own photos, because my kids are nowhere near this right now. But I had so much fun. Another milestone opportunity is getting engaged and getting married, and these were so much fun to put together. And so there are 2 new sentiment stickers for that milestone. And then, of course, baby comes, and in the spring. Okay, thank you, Kathy. In the spring. So we'll have to just patiently wait for that. But in the meantime, we can have some fun with wedding and other fun things. So stay tuned. Let's see. What is the crown and number? The crown and number. I'm not sure, Donna. The crown and number? Not sure. Can someone help me with that? Crown and number? What is the crown and number? I don't know. Where do you see a crown and number? I'm not sure. On the website? What? I'm not sure. Okay, let me know. Keep it going in the chat. So are we good on showing how words can help? And then again, just, I love sets of 3s, that next to her name in the chat. Oh, behind my name. I don't know. Maybe because Uh, I don't know, Donna. I don't see it on my name on my end. Um, so yeah, okay, Tracy, I am not ignoring your questions, but my craft room is still not ready. It is so hard to move, you guys. And I just like getting the punches. That was step one. Thank goodness that's done. But I just have a few more details, but I'm hoping soon. After tonight, I have a little break before monthly meetup. So I'm hoping I can get some of those things put away, organized, and make a little progress. So it's coming, Tracy. It's coming. Okay. Um, and Kathy's like, I just finished my daughter's wedding album. You could go back and put some stickers in there if you want, if it works. So, yeah, okay. So, Vicki, did you see why now I'm like, I'm holding on to your package just in case? Okay. Because I knew there were a lot of things. It's just, it had to have, it had all the design had to get finished. There's the coffee layout. Okay. I'm going to do one more with you. And just to kind of once more kind of get through this point of what do we do with some of our layouts. So this I found, so I really did go through kind of the layouts that already had a base page and kind of some things going on, and that I just thought, yeah, I could level that up. I could level that up. So this was a layout that we did way back at conference. So that was a long time ago. And of course, they gave us some supplies and said, here, make this 2 pages, we'll give you the supplies. But of course, I didn't have any of my own things to, play with. So this is what we came out with. And let's see, Anne says, Crown and Chat from Google. YouTube is testing a live stream leaderboard where you can earn points by chatting. Oh, now you guys are all going to be chatting, huh? I love it. Okay, everybody's going to be in the chat. They're like, I want the crown and the number next to my name. Got it. You guys, I love it. So there you go. Yeah. All right. That's kind of fun. Sandy said, when I clicked on my crown, it's something about a super chatter. Oh, are you? Oh, you guys are going to be called super chatters now. How fun. I love it. Okay. So yes, Tracy, it's coming. I promise. I want it to be perfect. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it to be like meaningful for you to see, this is kind of the new way I have organized things. Okay. This is Feeling Bright. This is a collection. One of it is a happy collection. And when you look at it, so I've got my 3 different clusters, and I've got, kind of a center place. I can put photos, and then another place over here I could put photos and journaling. And then again, I'm feeling that this is just flat. This is flat, like the decorative elements are flat. So let's just take a look at a couple things. One is, again, a simple shape, a circle. So what happens if we just take that circle and just as it is, these are stuck down. But what happens, again, when I just tuck that shape? For me, it brings it all down here. It's again like that stop sign. Hey! Oh, look, it said there's something here to read. Stay close to people who feel like sunshine. Isn't that true? Oh, yeah. I love that quote. Stay close to people who feel like sunshine. And now I feel like my eye is like, oh yeah, I've got to come over here and just pay attention to that. Let's talk over here about having fun. Take the same thing and put it over here. Does it work as well? Ooh, not really. Not really, because I have a lot of light color going on here right? So I have gray, and it works with the sun, and then there's this little banner, but the gray is really kind of getting lost. Even and I know I've got my bright lights on, but even in person, it's kind of getting lost. So let's talk about another thing we could do. And I brought out my Feeling Bright collection. And here's something I just want to mention too. A collection like this, you can tell I really liked this collection. I have quite a bit of it. There were a lot of embellishments. And so sometimes I feel like what I want to do is just use up embellishments. I want to use them all up. And so I'll get in here and I'll go, okay, having fun. Do I want to put that in there? What else can I tuck in with that? And there were a lot of word sentiments here. So to me, like 3 of these is kind of too much to have. One second here. Let me see if I can turn this light down just a smidge so you can see a little better. Like this is just, it's too many shapes. It's too many words. And like, it just, to me, it's like, my eye doesn't know where to go. I like the having fun, but my goal is to give this a little more pop. And so my point being, even when there's lots and lots of embellishments, that doesn't mean we have to use them all. It's okay. It is okay not to use them all. There were some super fun epoxy things. Now, this one, okay, this is definite. That is a definite possibility because it says having fun, and this one says love moments like this. That is really cute. But again, the white is getting lost on the white. So let's take a look at some things that we can do. First, when I see this, I tried white. White didn't really work. What other color would I want to bring in to this layout? I've already got green, and I've got red, and I've got the white. And so when I look at this, I go, well, let's try a little pop of yellow. What would happen if we did some yellow? So we've got kind of some suns over here. Ooh, look at that. And then I believe there was another, there's a bright yellow. There's this yellow. Ooh, there's that too. That's really bright. And then I think there's, then there's also this orange and yellow, but I've already used the dot, so definitely not going to use the dot again. And I thought there was one more possibility. Let's see. And, you know, we're looking at patterns here, so we don't want our patterns to go too crazy either. I guess that is the yellow in the tone on tone. It's this one, because there's another yellow on the back of that, which that's, it could work, but that is bright. That is bright. Okay, so let's kind of just go with one of these. I'm not seeing any more in my paper pack. I'm just digging through my paper pack as we're chatting. Okay, so out of this, I do like yellow to kind of balance. I've got my sun over here, and I do like the white to help make that yellow of this sun pop. And then since I've got kind of this darker, I think I'm going to go with kind of this two-tone yellow sun paper. This is pretty. It's awfully bright. It is bright. I mean, it shows up in other places, but let's take a look at adding a piece of this sun paper. So I'm just going to get my Custom Cutting System mat. And there's not a whole lot of room here. So I may have a circle. I could have a circle kind of come off the page, or I could have a circle kind of go this way. But now that I'm looking at it, I think I might want this circle to kind of go this way. So I could do that by just using the side of the paper and my circle. So I'm going to get the medium circle. I'm just going to place it down and go, do I like that? Yeah, I think that's a good size. Let's do that. I'm going to do a red blade so it's closest to the pattern. And let's see, I'm going to need, yep, about 3/4 of an inch from the rubber over. So I'm just going to go here. And this is that trick of color. So remember, color, shapes, and words. So now let's add some color. Let's see what happens. I'm going to have to peel these up. I'm going to see what happens when we add a little color. Oh, these have been down for a while, so I might have to do a little surgery on here. Okay, we almost there. One more. Oops, I broke it. That's okay. It'll come back. We'll revive it. So let's add some color here. I'm going to get some adhesive and just stick that in there while we've got a chance. Okay, I think it's going to be about right here. And then stick that back down. Just do a little take care on that banner. We'll just get that right back in place. And now we've got love moments like this. Okay. So we've added a color component over here to this cluster. And I know it's kind of bright. Here, let me see if I can flip this light up a little bit. Might be a little more helpful to see that. No, that's even worse, isn't it? Okay, there. Okay, let me just turn that one off. There, you can kind of see, hopefully a little better. Let me bring it over here. So that way you can kind of see the gray with the sun and the love moments like this. I probably want to do a little foam square on that, and then we can just, you know, kind of get all those things stuck back down where they need to go. Let me get a foam square here. And that bit of color to me now just, again, kind of levels up the layout. This would also be a candidate for the circle punch, right? Let's get the circle punch. And I bet this would be kind of an easy one now that I put a foam square on it. Look at that. Oh yeah, that would work. So let me dig in here for a little scrap. Oh, baby girl. Okay, 1 second. Clemmy needs to go. Okay, let me just add a little punch of this. And how about that? We can even have that kind of come off the edge a little bit too. So we're layering, having some fun, adding elements, words, and so then I'm just going to trim that off. Kind of mimics the bigger circle there. Okay. And then this might be another place I think would work. To me, I need a little something in here. So that would be a fun place for like a little mini sentiment. A little mini layering shape. Thanks, and her leash is right there. I think she might be hungry. She's crying. Crying! She wants to go. Let's put that. I like that one in there. And then you could just, you know, easily look through your sentiment stickers and find something to go right there. Let's see. This was so good. How about that? This was so good. So this is kind of a fun set that I created. It's called Storyteller. And these are just to get your journaling juices going. And so this is going to be a little longer. And they are just fun prompts about your story, about details, little fun sayings that you can just add to your pages for all sorts of sayings. Okay, here we go. And it's good to get it on straight before you stick it down. There we go. This was so good. So there's kind of my trio now of words. So I added color because I felt like this cluster needed the color component. I added another set of words and another layer of color here, which I like. And then the third layer was just, I like that. I tend to like that little pop of black. That's why most of my sentiments are printed in black. And black is just such a good contrast go-to color, right? So now I've got kind of a leveled up cluster over here. Let's get that straight. There we go. I feel like it was a little crooked. And just by, again, paying attention to those three things: color, shapes, nice shape, and color, and words, and adding words. And then here, really, I think that's all this to me really needs over here, because I've got a really nice sentiment is a shape, a layering shape. So it's not fitting, so I'm just going to cut. Instead of pulling all that up, I'm just going to cut that so it tucks in a little bit more there into that side. And then we've leveled it up. So that's my, oh, and we could do some little sprinkle things too. That would make it fun. Those are my three go-tos whenever I want to just do a little bit more, have a little extra for my layouts. Okay, color, shapes, and words. All right, super easy. Okay, how are we doing in the chat? Let me take a look. And any suggestions? Donna, okay, wait, what? Trying to mail them at $41. I know, Annette. Australia is very expensive to mail to. So yeah, Leslie was asking, what is the punch? This punch is the circle punch. It's 1 3/4 from Creative Memories. It is definitely something that you need to have in your tool stash. So definitely have your circle. I use this all the time, the circle. So the freight. Okay, wait, Jerry, how about using something like the Sunshine Mandala Circle Punch and cutting it down to fit? Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that have been great to do here? See, Jerry, we're Laurenizing, aren't we? We're Laurenizing. Jerry's here. Yes, you could do, in fact, you could add that as a layer. Wouldn't that be beautiful in white and do the circle mandala and put that behind the yellow? Oh, you could just have so much fun. Definitely. Yeah. This layout was done a long time ago. In Minnesota, yes, Donna, you remember? So I was like, okay, now that I'm home and I have all my little goodies, what can I do to make it a little, a little more fun, little extra? So, okay, let's see. Let me get okay. Okay. Hopefully I'm catching the questions as they come in. Yeah, the simple shapes add so much. And yeah, when they're the right color and definitely kind of in the right place, right? And not too overpowering. Like I wouldn't want to put a whole circle like just plastered right here on the page, but paying attention, you can cut those shapes down. Okay, so let me just pull in a few more examples of kind of some designs, and you've probably seen some of these before, but now that we have really talked about those three things, color, shape, and words, I hope you can kind of see that's my go-to when I'm, creating a layout. I've got a shape, I've got some beautiful color, and I've got words in my embellishment clusters. And again, over here, this is a shape, and then there's another shape on top, and I've got some words. And then over here, like, yeah, I could put a fun little sentiment strip down here, and that would be really cute too. And add some words. This one I already cut, but just think about some fun little words. Or words are also really easy to add next to your photos, right? I also have these already posted, stuck down over here. So again, another layout, same concept, right? Same thing. How about this one? You don't have to have circles all the time. This one was made with the tag maker, and your tag maker, you can also change the top of the tag maker to make it look even cuter, right? And where's Debbie? Debbie, you could even add some ribbon, some fun little ribbon to that and make that even more fun. And Tasha, I think you really love ribbon too. So, what are those textural components that can just have, kind of take a look at that decorative cluster. So this has words, it has a shape. So I cut this shape out of a mat card, I believe. It was part of a mat card. And then you've got even the shape here is a tag. It can be a tag, and it can be color. The color can be from your pattern paper. And then you can see I just added a fun little sentiment up here on the top. Says just doing what we do, right? So fun. So again, same idea. This is on one page, but you can see the same concepts: color, shape, words. I've got one more to share with you. This kind of highlights, we did this a long time ago when the fall collection last year came out, but look at the change for me of adding those neutral. So this is what the neutral layering shapes look like, which is so beautiful with the fall pages, right? Again, using my clusters, I've got words, I've got a shape, and I've got color, right? Lots of color in the stickers. Over here, I used a die cut title and some more words underneath, and another neutral layering tag for this. So that's my big thing for tonight. I hope I drilled it in enough for you guys. Did you get it? Quite enough. We talked about those 3 things. Ready? Here they are again. Color, shapes, and words. And that is that's the thing. And it's so easy to do. Okay, so hopefully that gave you some more ideas on what you're looking at when you're looking at your layouts and how you can take and just make them a little more fun in a super easy, fast way. Okay, so try it out. Love to hear. If you're watching this on replay and you're not here on the live, let me know if there are other ways that you like to level up your layouts as well. And also if you are going to try some of these techniques. So, and let me know in the chat right now if you're here live. Are you going to try them? Did it spark some things for you? I hope some ideas for you. So hopefully it'll give you a new way, a fresh way to look at when you're putting your pages together. Just some simple, easy ways to level up your pages. Okay, so let me see if I got all of the latest questions. How am I doing, Annette? Did I get? Yes. Yeah, Debbie's like, I bought ribbon. I love it. I know, we got to have all the things, right? So, okay, great. Oh gosh. Oops. See, I'm still working on where my adhesive needs to go because that's the second time it's all ended up on the floor because I just kind of knee it and it just goes bam on the floor. So when I do my tour, you can see I have my Post-its still stuck on my pods. I've got to make my cute little tags that go in there and get all that organized. I've got another punch carousel, which is going to go in that cubby, hopefully coming soon. And Stampin' Storage, speaking of organization, Stampin' Storage just released a new punch holder for Creative Memories punches. Of course, after I just ordered what to finish my wall with, right? So that is something new, and there's not slots for the punches. It's just shelves for the punches that you can line up your punches with on the shelves. So I don't know. I might have to try one because, you know, it seems like I'm always running out of storage. So that is a few of the things I've got to get situated here in the craft room, and then I promise I'll give you a tour. Okay, so Suzanne's going to try some of the new ideas. Good. All right, color, shape, and words are marching orders. Until next time, you got it, Annette, and hopefully you can have some fun with it as well. All right, friends. Thank you again for joining and spending your Friday night with me. Love it. And for the feedback and the chat and the community, as always. I so enjoy spending some time with you. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.